Very good morning to all learned principals over here. I must say that this annual pedagogical leadership planning has really helped us to come together at one platform. That's the best thing, I must say. And when it comes to this APP, it's a boon for us. It is something which is giving us that confidence, right? And what I will do is I'll just whatever we had the discussion yesterday, right? What I'll do is what I have just compiled, made few slides, and I have put it together. So whatever I have been talking throughout yesterday, when we were having an interaction, when we were seeing your presentation and all, so the gist of it, quick gist of that, and then the presentation which ma'am is talking about. Okay, so let me present my screen.
She did her homework last night.
Yes, I do my homework every day, and I always tell my teachers also, whatever, wherever you are, if you do your homework properly, I think you will be the person who will be very happy at the end of the day, right? So that's needed, whether you're a teacher, whether you're a felicitator, whether you're a resource person, whether you're a principal. So let me present my screen. You can see my screen.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So welcome to this annual pedagogical plan. And here in this particular thing, we are going into leading learning, how to lead learning. Very, very important. And being a leader, it is an added responsibility on our shoulder. So we need to take up that responsibility. You already know that we are going through this online training on pedagogical leadership of principal, the phase 2. And you already know me. And I'm Seema Gupta, principal of Universal High School, Aurangabad, Maharashtra. And I'll take you to the journey wherein we will be focusing on the part 3 of annual pedagogical plan. The description of the steps quickly. What is the annual pedagogical plan? It is the application of layer 2 of the pedagogical leadership framework, practicing pedagogical leadership. It's just not knowing about it, understanding about it, but practicing it. It's a one plan which is forward looking. It's a strategic plan, but it is forward looking, and it is process based planning. And I am sure each one of you have gone through it. The question arises, what's the importance? Why we are going through this? It leads to overall school improvement for which we are responsible, right? Each one of us wants our school, to do well. And if you are a good leader, definitely your school will improve. It ensures that all children learn and acquire expected essential level of competence in all school subjects. This is the need of the hour. We as a school, we as a facilitator, we as a teacher, we as an educator, why we are sitting over here? The reason is learning should take place, right? And for the last one, overcoming the cumulative learning deficit which is observed. Yes, we talk about inclusive learning, and somewhere when we are talking about inclusive education, we see that somewhere the deficit is there, somewhere the gap is there, somewhere the lacuna is there, and this enables us to fill that gap. And that's why APP is said to be an important tool in the hand of all the leaders, and that is you. What are the steps? We'll just go through it quickly. We have been discussing about it. You can see all the 5 steps, right? Where are we now? What do we need to do? How will we achieve? What is the timeline and what the impact? But only the thing is, it is first, second, jumping to fifth, third, and fourth. Very, very important. Where are we now as a school? I would like each one of you to listen very attentively. The reason being, if you are clear with this, you are ready. You will be ready with your APP, which is really effective and which will enable you to implement it also. Start with 5-point rating scale for each actionable of 6 descriptors of layer 2. Page number 36 to 63. 5-point rating scale, it is already given in annexure 1 of part 3. wherein you can fill that. Involve all the stakeholders and build that ownership. You don't have to sit individually and work on it. Involve all your vice principals, coordinators, head of the department. You can involve your management, right? And at times when you're talking about student learning and all, you can involve the students as well, right? The based on the rating given to each descriptor, write the insights, right? The template is given on page number 68. I'll add over here, APP is not sharing the plan after I do. It is about developing a shared vision among all stakeholders to do the process. So please focus on this aspect. Look at this, the step 1. It's talking about 5-point rating scale, where somewhere, yesterday when we were going through the presentation, it was like some of you gave rating as 5, but 5 is practice is fully embedded. If it is never practiced or almost never practiced, then it is 1 or 2. And then we need to focus on those descriptors where we see it as 1 or 2 as the rating scale, right? Then we say, if I'm talking about the descriptor 1 and the action, where are we now as a school? The actionable we need to focus on, let's say, assuming that ascertaining the need for professional development, which most of you presented it yesterday. If I'm talking about this is an actionable, and there are 5 sub 1 2 3 4 5 sub actionable, and you are rating it over here. So read those. Co-construct mechanism, normally we try to avoid it. Look, focus on the 3rd, 4th and 5th and mark yourself, and accordingly wherever it is 1 2 or 3, or I must say least, pick up those sub actionables. But the key thing is involving all stakeholders and building ownership principles. This is very important. The thing is, when you involve them, they will also take up the responsibility along with you. Then only it can be implemented. Single-handedly, you cannot do it. It is a teamwork, keep in mind. This is a rating scale which you have, and then accordingly, you will have your insights coming in the step 1 itself, right? So insights may be 1, 2, or 3. And depending on that, these insights, these will enable you what is the problem in my school. And accordingly, you can work on step 2, right? Then you go to 5, 3, and 4. This is talking about step 1, wherein you are rating, then you are talking in terms of the insight over there, right? Step 2, where we, when I was going through your plan yesterday, where you were going wrong. When we are talking about what do we need to do in the coming year, we have already seen the descriptor, actionables, and the sub-actionables, right? What is the process of completing the step 2? Use step 1 to determine what you need to do in the coming year. Identify at least 1 actionable to be worked upon, or 2 actionable, and identify 1 actionable and 1 or 2 sub-actionable. And the thing is, keeping in mind those which are given, the actionables and the sub-actionables which are given, you can work on it and you can add specifically over there what you need to do. What you need to do specifically for a given problem. So the thing is, your actionable and sub-actionable, which is already given in the handbook, it will enable you to write what you need to do in the coming year, right? Then we jump to the step 5. It is 1, 2, 5, 3, 4, right? And what outcome or impact we want to see. Visualize the outcome. When you are visualizing, it has to be a smart one. Shweta ma'am and I have been talking about it. It has to be smart, it has to be specific, it has to be measurable, achievable, realistic, and time bound. Very, very important. So the thing is, when you're writing it, check whether checklist is always there, right? When we do any work, we also see that we have our own checklist for every function, for every event, for every project. Similarly, for this, SMART is the checklist. Check whether it is having all that. And the thing is, you're talking about overall impact on school student learning. What will be the final impact if I pick up this as a problem, and how the problem will be resolved and how it will be seen as an impact in the school. Step 3, it's talking about visualizing, describing, strategizing, and identifying, right? So visualizing the process of doing after identifying the area, Describe the process in detail in your own words to others in the school, stakeholders. Strategize the process, draw a plan, and identify the person responsible. And again, when you're talking about, we just write, okay, the principal is there, and we consider that, yes, only the principal. No way. It is a principal, the vice principals, the head of the department, your coordinators, your class representative. Bring in all, involve each one of them and give them the responsibility, right? So specific responsibility, this will be done by the principal, will be overall responsible, no doubt about it. But the thing is, everything you cannot sit and do it. So you need to involve the stakeholders, right? Step 4, timelines to be decided in terms of quarterly period. If needed, monthly targets and overall target for the year. So I always tell you, quarterly, monthly, it could be monthly, it could be quarterly, and finally the target. Year wise, you say that, okay, by April 22 or April 23, I'll be achieving this, right? But the thing is, the quarterly review has to be there, the monthly target has to be there, and you need to have a checklist, whether I have done this, whether I have reached this point or not, right? So this is talking about, and then we put it together. So basically all the steps, it's 1 2 5 3 4. The final draft looks like this, right? All this you have already done, so I will not go into the details, and this is the way it has to look, right? Descriptor 1, descriptor 2, the examples which are there in your handbook as well, principles. So what is it? APP must be based on 6 descriptors given in layer 2. Any 3 actionables can be taken for the implementation. In case of 6 descriptor, choose any 2 based on your discretion. APP must be based on the 5 steps. Use the rating scale, insights. This is the first, foremost important thing. And then accordingly follow the steps and the final APP. So page number 67 to 95, you need to refer for making your annual pedagogical plan, right? The next thing, which ma'am was talking about, I will just show this.
Where are we now as a school? The actionable, make parents active partners in the educational journey of their child. Based on the insight, very rarely parents are invited to address students on their chosen careers or areas of expertise.
Step 2. What do we need to do in the coming year? To build a culture of involving and engaging the parents into the educational journey of the children affected through career guidance programs by parents on their chosen careers or areas of expertise.
Step 5. What will the impact look like? 90 to 100 parents will become active partners through career orientation in the educational journey of the children.
Step 3 is, how will we achieve what we want to do? The school will plan a 3-phase career guidance program with the parents as guest speakers, and the sub-actionables under it are at the class level, at the school level, and a career fair at community level.
A PTM to announce the 3-phase plan of career guidance, a survey to collect data on the area of expertise of the parents who are willing to volunteer, analyze and consolidate the response sheets, shortlist the parents in 3 categories.
A calendar will be created, followed with briefing the parents, checking the logistics, and rolling out the events, which will conclude with thank you notes and social media coverage.
What is the timeline for implementation? Class level, last Friday of every month, starting from 30th of July. School level, 4 times in a year, before 13th August to 15th of October, 30th November, and 21st of January. Community level, once in a year by 18th of February.
And this is the final sheet where all the points are taken together.
Thank you so much.
So that was it, and this is how we went into the descriptor. And the thing is, as ma'am told, that we were asked, to just use 2-3 minutes and finish it off. So that was quite challenging. Here you get 15 to 20 minutes to present. So in that given time, we try to put everything. So that is how we go about it. And I hope this is going to help you. And if needed, we will share the link with you all. I'll just paste and, so that you can go through into the details in future as well, right? And I'll share this presentation as well with you all, right?
But it's not like they have worked on only one descriptor or one actionable. After that, they have to submit the entire APP.
Exactly.
It is not that these few slides they have presented.
We had done, yes, that also, ma'am, for all the 5 descriptors, we had the things and we had submitted.
They have to submit their detailed plan
Right.
along with the ratings and everything, what they have to do. So
Yes.
they have done the detailed planning as well, and they have submitted it to the headquarters, which
Right.
also has been appreciated a lot.
Right.
So congrats once again, Seema ma'am and your team.
Thank you so much.